One of the most important distinctions that you can really embrace as a leader is the distinction between recognition and appreciation. Now, appreciation is one of the best ways to motivate, inspire, and get the most out of people. But as I travel around the U.S. and sometimes around the world and talk to different leaders and groups and teams, I find that this simple distinction is both misunderstood, and when it's embraced, amazing things can happen. So think of a time in your career personally when you felt really appreciated. You felt recognized. And whatever just popped into your mind, it may have been something very specific that you accomplished, that someone did or said, or some award that you got. But usually, there's some personal element of that. Something was said or done personally about you that made you feel valued. And as simple of an idea as this is, let's kind of break this down, and you can think about this for yourself as a leader as you try to get the most out of people. Because one of the things that we have a tendency to do is confuse recognition and appreciation. They're related, but they're not the same thing. Recognition is about results. It's about performance. It's about what people do. Appreciation, on the other hand, is more about who people are. Now, according to a study that was done at Haas Business School at UC Berkeley in 2012, what they found was that people who felt recognized were 23% more effective than those who didn't. Now, that makes sense. We all kind of understand that, and we've heard that, of course, that recognition is important. However, in that same study, what they found was that people who felt genuinely valued by their direct leader, their direct manager, in addition to recognized, were 43% more effective than those who didn't feel that same way. So how does this relate to you as a leader, as a manager? What can you do? Well, one of the things that you can think about is how to decouple people's performance from your appreciation for them. I'll give you an example from my background. Now, I played baseball for many years before I started writing books and speaking and consulting with organizations, and I was a pitcher. Now, whether you're a baseball fan or not, you may know what happens to the pitcher in the baseball game when the pitcher doesn't do well. They actually stop the game, and in front of everybody, the manager walks out to the pitcher's mound and takes the ball out of your hand and makes you leave. Now, it's pretty embarrassing. I mean, if it's like late in the game and I was doing well, that was fine. But if it was early in the game and I hadn't done very well at all, it was really embarrassing. And he would, take the ball out of my hand. He'd make me leave. I'd have to walk off the mound and I'd go sit in the dugout, upset, embarrassed. That's where we'd all sit, all the team, right? And I'd sit down on the bench and literally none of my teammates would talk to me. They would sort of just leave me alone. It's kind of an unwritten rule in baseball. Don't talk to him. He's upset. Now, on the flip side, if I did really well and came out of the game, everybody would give me high fives. I was sort of everybody's best friend because I had done a good job. Now, in that situation, when I didn't do well, you know what I really could have used and almost never got in 18 years of playing baseball was some appreciation. Now, not recognition. They can't come over and tell me, hey, Robbins, you did a great job. No, if I had done a bad job, I wanted people to be honest with me. But what if someone could have come over and said to me, hey, Robbins, you didn't pitch so well, but you're still an important part of this team. Or, hey, you're better than you just performed. Or even ask me a question. Hey, what do you need? How you feeling? Those simple things that we can do to connect with people on a personal level have a lot to do with how much we value and appreciate them. Letting them know we appreciate things about them that aren't directly related to their performance actually builds a relationship that we can have with the people on our team and the people around us in a way that can bring the best out of them. And here's the coolest part. As a leader, if you start to really infuse your team with appreciation, not just recognition, a couple things will happen. Number one, you'll empower the people around you, everyone on your team, regardless of their role, to start appreciating each other, because appreciation is not role specific and it's not dependent upon people's performance. And that's the second thing, is that you'll create an environment where people know they're valued, not simply just because they do a good job, but because who they are. And when leaders embrace and understand and practice this distinction between recognition and appreciation, their teams thrive.